Hey guys, it's Danielle with Octane Design Studios, and I'm crafting today. Check out all the fun festivities in this video. Hello, and welcome to another episode where I'm crafting all the cool things and doing some cool stuff. Today I've got this old plank that I've been using as a decoration in my house. I got this originally from Hobby Lobby maybe about, maybe about 2 years ago. I was just in the store, when you get the urge and the feeling of seeing something that could be a potential project, you just kind of scoop it up for later. This was that moment, okay? So I kind of did my own thing here and did like a simple like chalkboard home, and I've left it on this board probably for about 2 years. Have not done anything else with it since. I have been meaning to vinyl this for a long time. This is kind of like a personal home project too that still needs to be done. So as you can see, I've added some hooks onto this. It originally didn't come with that, just had the knobs on it. And so I put the hooks on here because I like to hang the keys and things like that from it and hang this on a wall. So again, I found this randomly at Hobby Lobby one day a couple years back. I may still even have these about in the aisles. So this is something I'm gonna wipe down. We're gonna re-vinyl, or actually vinyl, period, because this is chalk. So we're gonna vinyl this down and really kind of get started on this project. I thought about the idea of doing like a home sweet home feel. So that's kind of what I wanna show you guys here in just a second. So I started with this home. This is an actual Cricut. In the Cricut design space, you have a lot of built-in fonts that come in with your Cricut Access subscription. I'll be able to share some links about that and ways you can get some deals on it here in just a little bit. All kinds of cool creative serif, not in sans serif fonts that you can use. I choose to use a serif font because I think that will look prettier on my board. So I just want you guys to be aware that I'm intentionally using that for that purpose. Something else too that I really want to share is how I want this to look on the board. So obviously I'm going to be wiping off the home, and I'm going to be clearing up the chalk a little bit just to make sure that it's most of the residue and things are off, so I can lay down the vinyl a little bit easier on this particular piece. But then I also want to make sure that I'm able to have a clean visual and feel for how this is going to look. So if home is taking up the majority of this, I thought about putting a home sweet home, and I think that would also be something pretty to go across the middle of this as well. I'm going to try both options and see what they look like. What I'm doing right now is pulling out my crafty measuring tape, and I'm going to measure the inside of this real quick just to kind of get a feel. So really roughly, we're looking at about 16 and almost 16 and a half, but I'm going to cut it off at 16 because it'll give us a little bit more of an edge. And what I'll do is I'll take that actually 2 inches in. So I'm actually going to go to 14. So that's the max amount of vinyl that I want to put down in this particular area. That's from frill to frill. So if it's little curly wispy things, I want to make sure that it goes no further than 14 inches across here. So I've got some space to play with. If I want to do a home sweet home in a level of 3s, we have a home and then a sweet and then a home. I couldn't go any more than 8 inches high. I would probably cut that down to honestly 6. So I always want to take it 2 inches in when I'm talking about filling in negative space. So that's my rule of thumb for people who are not as advanced crafters and always wanting to find out more information about relative space. I usually take things in about 2 inches just to be safe and let that negative space fill itself. So I'm going in here, and I'm actually going to just keep my home here because I like that font. I may duplicate it. I'm just kind of playing around here, honestly. I don't have a game plan for this. Another font that I like to use that's not necessarily in the Cricut Access directory or files. If you have Cricut Access, it might not be a regular font. A font that I do like to use from the defont.com library is Autumn and November. It's a simple curly font that works well with a serif font similar to this. So I'm gonna pull this out, and I'm just gonna write in here have autumn and November right here. And as you can see, I have all caps in here, so that's the reason why it's like, you know, all caps. But if I don't want all caps, we turn that off. We have a home sweet home. So this is an option for a font. I do like autumn and November. You can check that out at defont.com. I'll put that in the video link descriptions as well. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and detach this. I go to advanced. I go to ungrouped letters. It's going to break all my letters down into individual pieces itself, and then I can kind of put them all together. Occasionally, what I typically try to do, to be really honest, is I try to go ahead and get the letter spacing where I want it as a word first, and then detach it, and then put them, you know, back together again. For some people, it's easier to do it, just automatically ungroup it and go, but I feel like you kind of cut your work in half a little bit if you just play with it as a word first, and then do your thing. So this is one. So we have home, and then sweet, and then we could try again with home again. I do like the way this looks. We can do this a couple different ways. One, I want to make sure that when we go into our width and size, it's what it needs to be first. So the highest, again, we said it needs to be is 6. Sorry, I put that in the wrong place. There we go. So our width right now is about 7, which is great actually, because we don't have to take up that whole space. I really love the idea of it taking up just a little bit of space. So let's go back to this really quickly. And if it's only going to take up 7, I really like that idea, because now we have this beautiful space around, and we have just a little bit of space to the top. And I feel like that will be really clean in the center of this piece. I think we're good as far as the way this should look and feel. I'm comfortable with this. I'm happy with that. So now I guess we need to move on to getting it cut. I do want to share that we'll be adding a little bit more content to our YouTube page really soon. For those who are unaware, Octane has a podcast. It has crafting. We also do a lot of papery items as well. So I'll be showcasing all of this on our Octane page. So you've got a lot more content coming your way in 2020. This is something I'm really excited about as I continue to grow my business, as I continue to grow my craft, but also going behind the scenes and showing behind the scenes steps, showing people how I'm making the thing so that you can go out and do your thing too. Okay, we are literally just cutting the pieces of vinyl that we no longer need. We always want to save our scraps as much as we can, right? So that goes over there. And we just want to cut down to the area to which we are actually using. If for bigger things like this, you don't need to do that line per line as much. It's very much more so for the smaller, more intricate cuts that you would want to score a line by line and weed it line by line. So if you're unfamiliar with that process, you're welcome to catch another video where I'm decaling a mug, something smaller with more intricate details, and see how I'm decaling that line by line. Quality first, right guys? All right, we're gonna take our transfer tape. I'm just gonna lay that flat on down, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this down to our grid lines, if you can see them. Once I put together that big sticker, I was able to lay it directly on my board and showcase this pretty, beautiful Home Sweet Home sign. Hey, that's a wrap. If you like what I'm putting down, like, subscribe, and share.